Now you have choices and you can upgrade and improve from there.
Yeah. Two observations on that. The first is it goes directly to something you talk about all the time, which is focusing on and optimizing the starting line versus the finish line, right? Like we all think about the finish line, we set goals that are all about the finish line, and we overlook how important the starting line is. And the more we can have in the back of our mind that destination that we're aiming to go towards, but the more we can root ourselves in what's required to be at that starting line, then it becomes digestible and doable and sustainable.
You don't start the race,
right.
You can't finish it.
Yeah,
right? So
right.
people are all worried about the outcome. I mean, everybody wants to, whatever the outcome is, run a marathon, earn 6 figures, lose 30 pounds. It's all finish line focused, but you have to standardize before you optimize. Like you have to make it the standard in your life before you have the chance to optimize it and turn it into something more.
Yeah. And I think it goes to the second point I was going to make. It goes to this idea that I think a lot of people, they really overestimate what they can or should do in a single day, and they completely underestimate what they're capable of in a long-term window. And I don't mean 6 months. I mean 5 years, 10 years. But when you overestimate the daily routine, it ultimately leads to burnout for most people, right, because it's not sustainable, right? And if you can narrow that down and put it into these small chunks like you're talking about, and create a situation in which you habituate gradually, and you create a lifestyle that's oriented around being able to maintain and build and optimize on that, that's where you're going to see the results way down the line.
I think that's true. And it's hard. I mean, I mentioned this in chapter 1 of the book. It's hard to feel that on a daily basis, right? Like I use the metaphor of it's kind of like heating up an ice cube, like you're in a room, it's cold, you can see your breath, you've got this ice cube sitting on the table in front of you, it's like 25 degrees, and you heat the room up and it's 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Nothing's happened. The ice cube's still sitting there. 31, and then 32, 1 degree shift, just like all the other ones before it, and suddenly you hit this phase transition and the ice cube melts. And it's not that life is always like that, but it often feels like that. Like people put in a little bit of work, they scale it down to this little behavior, and they think there's nothing happening here. It's like seeing an ice cube go from 25 to 27 degrees. And so then you feel like, I got to do more, right? I need to try harder. I need a bigger goal. I need to be more ambitious because then I'll get a bigger result. But people don't realize that like showing up and doing something small for 3 months or 6 months and then complaining about not having results, it's kind of like complaining about heating an ice cube from 25 to 30 degrees and not melting yet. Mm-hmm. The work wasn't being wasted. It's just stored, and that is a hallmark of any process that compounds, which is the most powerful outcomes are delayed. But when you're in the thick of it, when you're in the moment, it's really hard to feel that.
Feels like nothing's happening, feels like you're wasting the time. And